Mostly negatively the last few days about that. Did that help you in this recruiting cycle? Did you have things you didn't like about it? And also in-house here, do you have an NIL expert person that kind of helps with that? And if so, who is that?
Yeah. So I wouldn't say it helped us. I mean, we're never going to recruit leading with NIL. That's an opportunity. We certainly have the opportunity to help anybody that wants to participate and use their name, image, likeness however they want to. But, we always lead with who we are as a program, the purpose of this program. And, I don't think many people are going to come here, or at least I hope they don't, because of the NIL. I hope they come here because this is the university they want to be a part of, the program they want to be a part of, the people they want to be a part of. And so, it really wasn't a factor either way. I think we've got a huge team in place here. I mean, we're probably one of the few places that is actually building a facility. In fact, you are going to see the construction start, I guess, probably next week on our new facility that's going outside the weight room here. And so we're going to have just like we built Paul Journey, a living, breathing space. We're going to have a living, breathing space for, to help our players navigate this landscape that's out there, because at the end of the day, that's our responsibility. It doesn't matter what your opinion is. The rules are the rules, and our job is to make sure we equip them and we help them navigate any opportunities, maximize this opportunity, and that's what we've been doing. That's what we're trying to do moving forward. And we've got a team right now. Is what we have set up. We've got a really good team of people that are, we have somebody designated from the university standpoint for the whole athletic department, and then we have a little team that's dedicated to that as well. And a great, when we do visits and things like that, and kids come in here, that's a part of our process, but it's nowhere near like we're not coming out of the door. Oh, hey, here you go. Like, that's just one of the things we cover, just like the training room, just like the strength and conditioning, just like nutrition, just like dining, just like the business school, whatever it is. So we've got a great presentation and a great approach to that. It's been really good for us. And again, our responsibility is to help them maximize it. And at the end of the day, 98% of these guys aren't going to play pro sports. So they have a short window. We need to help them maximize, whatever opportunity they have, but we got to do it in a way that keeps them focused on the long-term value of education and their relationships and career development and all that stuff. But yet, let's maximize this opportunity too. And so that's what we've got in place, and we're building the space. And we are, it's probably here between now and summer, we are going to hire one person, for football that will be kind of we've got all the spokes, if you will, but kind of that cog in the wheel. So we've got a great plan. We've got some really good opportunities for our current team and our future team. And there'll be things that'll be said, publicly at the right time. But no, man, we're in a good place, and it's not something that's been a factor with us this year in recruiting.
But do you have any long-term concerns about the impact that NIL might have in recruiting?
Yeah, absolutely. I think anytime I think there's a lot of good intentions with the NIL, but I think anytime you do something, there's always unintended consequences, and there will be some unintended consequences, and I think. The way it's being used in some areas right now is not what it was intended for. But, again, I think everybody's figuring it out. It'll all settle out. And I do think that there are some pitfalls that as adults and as teachers, we got to do a great job with the young people that we've been entrusted with to help them. Because I can see a lot of young people making decisions for the wrong reasons and maybe getting distracted again by short-term money, because it's very short-term, and sacrifice the long-term. So I think there's a balance there, and that's where I think everybody has a responsibility to help them.
Yeah, but
you guys signed some guys with Clemson ties already, and then some younger brothers. Just what did you like about those families and those prospects, and what did you like them bring to the program?
Yeah, you talking about Cole and Kobe? Yeah, Cole's. I mean, yeah, and Jaheim. Yeah, Cole's just. I mean, he's. It's just amazing, kind of to be honest with you, how that all came about. All I can tell you is just kind of a God thing, because that's exactly how it happened for Nolan. Because we weren't recruiting Nolan, and y'all remember after that national championship game in '15, and Travis and McKenzie and J. Ron and T.J. Green left. And I'm I have to assume they're coming back. Because if you don't assume they're coming back and you go recruit people, then and then they come back. Now you got to tell somebody they got to go or they can't come, and we don't operate that way here. So, all of a sudden you got to go recruit, and y'all remember the story of Nolan. I mean, I'd offered him a walk-on spot a long time ago, and next thing you know, we're scrambling, and we went and got Isaiah, we went and got Trayvon, we got Kayvon, and then we got Nolan. And I just said, man, I'm going to go back and watch his tape. And when I watched his tape, I was like, let me get an unbiased opinion here. And I took it down to Brent, and Brent was like, who the heck is this guy? Where's he at? And it was his exact reaction. I'm like, that's all I needed to know. And the rest is history. It was only offer. And this kid's getting ready to go to the NFL. I mean, he's been a great player for us, a great leader. He'll be a D coordinator one day. He wants to coach when he's done playing. And then Cole, he was a basketball player. I've known Cole forever, but he was a basketball player, literally. And he didn't play football. And then all of a sudden, his junior year, I guess they talked him into coming out and playing football. And he's playing at Vestavia. And at that point, they'd been running that dang option forever, for 50 years. And so he was just kind of a wing guy, just a good athlete. So not on anybody's radar. And then they had a new coach come in this year and went to the spread. It was actually Kevin Swint's coach from Carrollton, and they went to the spread. And next thing you know, I mean, I'm getting a text from Raymond, his granddaddy, saying, hey, you might want to watch this kid. And I mean, I started watching him, and I actually talked to him back in November. And I said, hey, I'm just going to try to keep you under the radar here for a little while if I can, because I knew if people watched his tape, he was going to get a lot of opportunity. And that's kind of what happened. I mean, he had he had a lot of people, from Notre Dame to other schools reaching out to him as his name got out there and people started watching him. But he's a faster, bigger athlete than Nolan. And Nolan kills him when he hears me say that, but he's twitchy, he's long, he's got great ball skills. He's a big-time athlete. He's a big-time basketball player. I mean, this kid, they got a good chance to win the state up there. He's played at the highest level in Alabama and was dominant. And again, this was his first year to play receiver and just blew it up. A great punt returner, great kick returner. Got to throw, just like Nolan, will throw his butt in the weight room for a year. But I think he's got high-end potential. So just very, very fortunate to get a guy like that. And then Kobe, obviously, we've known the McLeods forever. I've known Kobe forever, and same thing. Just kind of chance that it all worked out the way it did. Kobe, Big Ray reached out to me, and I don't know, maybe early November, I guess, because we were kind of locked in. We had guys committed, and we were kind of done, and we had two other offers out there: a kid in Florida and a kid in Alabama, and we're just going to take one more guy, and we felt good about where we were. But he wanted to get just a true evaluation of Kobe. So, I told Brent, I said, hey, give me a good evaluation on what you think, because I want to try to give him some good direction here on because he had committed early, and his recruiting had picked up, and he was trying to figure out which way to go. And so Big Ray wanted to give him the right advice. So I sent it to Brent. Brent wrote up a great, eval on him and really liked him a lot. And that, if we didn't get one of those guys, that he's like, this guy can play. And so anyway, forgot about it, sent it on about our business. And then, we have signing day and we do our thing. And next thing you know, I'm watching the Steelers game, and Ray had a big game. I just happened to text Ray, and and they both hit me back, but Ray hit me back. And I said, hey, where'd Kobe end up signing? I just conversation, and he said, well, he actually decided not to sign because they just had a lot of things come their way, and they didn't really know what they wanted to do, so they were going to take January to kind of figure it out. And that was the story on a lot. It's going to be more and more the story, to be honest with you, because there's not many high school kids getting recruited. There's a lot. In fact, a couple years ago, a lot of these guys that we just signed, they wouldn't be here to sign. So, it's good and bad. It's good that there's a bigger pool of high school kids to recruit, but it's bad because you got a lot of high school kids that are not getting the opportunities that they got a couple years ago. And you got a lot of them that are having to go mid-year too, whether they want to or not, because two good players, this kid can come in the summer, this kid can come in January, and so it kind of forces the portal. So it's that's how it came about. And when he said he didn't sign, I was like, I went back and watched his tape again, and I sent it to Wes, and Wes's response was exactly the same. He's and he was blown away by him. He's a really good player. He's as y'all know, a football family. His brother's at Arizona. Ray raised with the Steelers, and I mean he's a tough kid. He's a really, really good kid. Great family. So just kind of neat how that worked out. And then Jaheim, I've watched Jaheim from his whole life. He and Clay Jaheim has spent many nights at my house. He and Clay have played ball together their entire life in about everything. So I've known him well, and I'm really, really proud of him. I challenged him last year because I just felt like, he was good enough, but I told him he's going to have to earn it. And there were some things that I wanted to see in him, and man, he did it. And I'm just really proud of him in his development. I mean, he was a dominant player this year. He dominated every game. And I saw every game but one. He dominated, and he dominated the playoffs. He goes and dominates the All-Star game. I mean, he's a really, really good prospect. Same thing though. He's got to get his butt in the weight room. He's twitchy. He's got some violent hands. He's a great effort guy. He's instinctive. He's much more refined than Shaq was. Coming out. Obviously, just simply because of his. He's had an example for a long time, and so he's got a chance. He's got a chance to be he'll be a true edge guy. So, he's got a chance to be a good player if he'll continue to put the work in. But it's always fun when you've got those type of relationships. This is a relationship world. It's a relationship business, and that's an example of good relationships. But also, it speaks to how those that came before them and their experiences that they had, and the trust and the families and all those type of stuff as well.
With Miles Oliver, obviously probably COVID and the transfer portal hurt his recruitment. How attractive is that track background that he has, and then what do you like just about what he brings to the table?
Yeah, definitely. COVID, wasn't able to get to a lot of places. Then his track situation, he can fly. This morning I was kind of comparing him to a Cody Sensabaugh. I mean, just he's a little thicker. Cody was very frail when he got here. This kid's put together more than Cody, but he's got a similar body. I think he's got similar upside, and he is fast and an awesome kid. And I hate to compare it, but you kind of get into that as a coach when you've done it for so long, and that's kind of how I evaluate him. I mean, I think he's exactly what we needed. We needed another guy at corner, and I think Mike did an awesome job, just identifying, evaluating, and then, sure enough, everybody kind of came in there, but he's going to be a good one for us.
Would you say, Kate, the story was more of a need or just an opportunity to present itself because of Nick?
Yeah, well, Dlyman are always a need, but with everybody coming back, I think he's a guy that maybe doesn't come in and start. He's probably not Brian Brzee the day he gets here, but he's got a chance to be a great player. I kind of see him as a little taller DJ Reader. He's that sneaky, athletic, going to be big man. He can play basketball. DJ is a great athlete and didn't really always get the credit for that. I mean, baseball, he could do it all. And this kid's the same way. His dad's the head coach. He's a football guy. His dad was a great player. His dad was a multi-sport player at Jacksonville State. Mom's an athlete. Brother is at Alabama. I mean, he's got another brother that played college ball as well. I mean, just a small town Friday night lights football place, and he's just got this mentality that you can't teach. It's just been instilled in him, and I mean, he is a big kid that can absolutely move. Y'all see him play basketball. He's got handles. I mean, he's got great feet. He's soft around the rim. I mean, he's just a really, really good big athlete. So to get a guy like him in this class is going to pay off for us big time, because we're getting ready to have a bunch of guys. We got a great group. This has got a chance to be, as good as we've ever had in this defensive line if they will work and do what they need to do to play and perform at the level they're capable of. But we're going to have a little more depth than maybe we had in 18. I think frontline guys, we got some similarities, but this group's got a chance to have deeper depth, deeper experience depth. And so this kid coming in and have the opportunity to learn from Brian and learn from Tyler and Rook and those guys, he's a big get for us, for sure.
Dabo, what was your reaction to Todd Bates' departure, especially so soon after he had just gotten that new contract with you guys?
Yeah, he just, it just was an opportunity for a promotion for him. I mean, he really, he felt like this was the opportunity to be a part of the coordinating of it, and which is what he wanted to do. So, I mean, that's just kind of the business, and it's all good. Nothing. I mean, it's all good. Good for him, and happy for Brent, and like I said, now, we got Nick. So I mean, it's good all the way around. Everybody's in a good spot, but like, as I've said many times, I mean, Todd did a great job for us. I mean, I gave him an opportunity to come in here. I mean, at that time, he had only coached JUCO and high school and 1AA. And I gave him a chance to come in here and coach Dexter and Christian. And so I gave him an opportunity, but he took advantage of the opportunity and did a great job. And that's why he got promoted. That's why he kept going. And that's why he's got this opportunity. And that's why I said, I think Todd will have a chance to be a head coach soon. I mean, he's really gifted, and he did a great job. And, and that's one of the reasons Brent, was giving him this opportunity. So for him, he felt like this was the next step for him. That's really all there is to it. But thankful that we were able to bring Nick in here. It was exactly what I was looking for with this hire. When I hired Todd, Dan Brooks had been here a long time. It was amazing. I really wanted I wanted a really young, hungry guy, and that's what Todd Bates brought. With this hire and the makeup of our roster, I really wanted a guy that had a lot of pro experience. And Nick brought all that. I mean, Nick's, played 10 years, coached 8 or 9 years, Super Bowl champ. He's got more pro experience in college, but he really loves college. I mean, he's a mentor. He's a teacher. He's a guy that really loves impacting young people's lives. And so it's been awesome from literally the moment he said, I'm coming. He has been amazing in how he's already developed relationships with these players on the team, with the recruits, et cetera, for this class and next year as well.
Got about 2 more minutes if you want to take one more.
What does Keith Adams Jr. bring to a running back room, and are y'all happy with the depth at that position right now? Yeah,
he's tough. He's physical. He's tough. He's a finisher. He scores a lot of touchdowns. He did that in Georgia, and he goes out to Utah, and I think he led the state out there. So he's got a mentality, and I love his spirit. I mean, as I said this morning, he kind of plays running back like his dad played linebacker, just relentless, and a high motor. So I think, we're in a great spot, and it's one of those things. You have years like this where, you got 2 elite freshmen and an elite sophomore. It's it's hard sometimes on the recruiting trail because these kids, they're not dumb. They know, all right, you're going to have to be a little more patient here with that type of group. So, man, it was a blessing to get a guy like Keith to come in this class. And so, we like the 4 that we got. We've got a couple of really good high-end walk-ons that we are excited about as well. And then, hopefully we'll be in good shape. But there's only one ball, and we feel like, those 3, that'll be kind of a 3-headed monster for us. And then we'll hopefully be able to bring Keith along as we go throughout the year.
All right, we'll wrap up, Coach. Be joined now by our Director of Athletics, Graham Neff.
All right, appreciate it.